So you have been thinking about selling your home and you're considering on working with another realtor who's maybe a incredible realtor, maybe they're a friend or somebody you know very well, but they're an
out-of-town agent.
they don't live in your community. They're maybe not even close to your community. They don't go there on the weekend. They don't go out there for lunch, and they generally are just from another community in the Lower Mainland. Whether you live in Surrey, BC or surrounding areas, it doesn't matter. This video is for you and all about the reasons why you want to consider working with a local real estate professional when it comes time to sell your home. If you're interested, let's go for a ride and check it out. What's good, everybody? It's Darin Germyn from the Germyn Group here, where we know that you've only got one chance to sell your home, so we're here to help you get it right. Since you're already here and looking around with your clicker, make sure to hit that subscribe button down there to make sure that you get notified on every video we release for home buyers, home sellers, and homeowners generally, and also help other great people just like you find our channel. We work really hard on getting these videos out and providing the utmost quality information to you, so help us out. Okay, so why do you want to use a local agent to sell your home? Or at least, why should you consider using a local agent? You know, I work in Surrey, and Surrey is not Vancouver. Surrey is not Chilliwack. Surrey is not Vancouver Island. So often when we're helping our buyers either find a home in Surrey or Langley or any of the surrounding areas that we work, we find these homes listed for sale by agents that are from, well, out of town. They might be from Vancouver, they might be from Vancouver Island, they might be from the Okanagan. And it's not to say that they're bad realtors, but there's some definite detriments to working with a real estate professional who does not live and work in your area that you as a home seller really should know. If you're like most home sellers, and you probably are, you want to make sure you get the most amount of money in the shortest period of time, making it as stress-free on your family or household as possible. So, can you really do that with an out-of-town agent? Here's some things to consider. Realtors that work in the community of where you're selling your home know other realtors and have relationships with these other realtors. That means very often it's a lot easier and less strenuous on you, the seller, to put a deal together with these other realtors because you've got a professional business relationship with them. Because you're also so connected in the community, you might have access as well to either off-market listings or off-market buyers just based on running into these realtors during day-to-day business operations. The next thing to consider if you're hiring an out-of-town realtor to sell your home for sale is showings, and how easy and accessible will that realtor make your home available to would-be home buyers. I get phone calls on my listings all the time from buyers from absolutely everywhere, but where the buyers come from really doesn't matter. It's where I have to come from to go show that property to these potential buyers. If I live 45 minutes, an hour away, that can be problematic for your home because how easy and accessible am I to come show it? And how vested am I to come show it? The reality is most of these sign calls on these properties, we know those buyers are probably not going to buy that home. That's just the nature of the business. However, they also might buy that home. And if every single buyer is not being taken seriously and given the time they need or the availability they need to see your home, you could be putting yourself at a pretty big detriment. This also goes on to say as to how easy it is to host an open house at this property if it's not convenient. If I'm in another community where I have to run around some of my buyers who are looking for homes in the community I work, how committed am I going to be to hosting open houses for your particular property? And I certainly know that you as a seller would never want to feel like you should take a deal that's not the best for you just so it can make my life a little easier because it's strenuous to drive out to see your home or show your home to a potential buyer. Makes sense, right? When you work with an out-of-town agent, you're also sacrificing that local knowledge of just your community, but also the real estate conditions in that particular market. That out-of-town agent might not be able to answer fairly simple questions for an agent that works in that community, like, is the home in a floodplain? What's included in the taxes of the property? What development is due to come to this area in the next little while? Is there potential that there might be an oil tank on the property? What do view properties sell for compared to non-view properties? Or maybe there's some significant traffic improvements or changes coming to that area that they might be completely oblivious to. You know, some of the examples of this might be the Vancouver empty homes tax. Selling a home in Vancouver that's empty might be an incredible tax burden for a potential buyer. And if an agent working in that community, but coming from an outside community, didn't know that, that could be really problematic for that client. For a little insider baseball, for something that you and the public might not be aware of, your realtor from out of town might not also have access to the same MLS system that the local community realtors do. This means if your property isn't ending up on the local MLS system, but an out of town MLS system, the realtors in that community might not even see the listing for sale in the first place. As a seller, that should be hugely problematic if that was the case, and something you definitely want to consider. Lastly, the selling a home experience should be all about you, the seller. It should be easy, it should be not strenuous, and it should be quick. You shouldn't have to wait on your real estate professional to show your home, come by for some advice, open the door for a trade, or anything like that. It should be easy. And if they're out of town, they might be doing you a pretty large disservice. Look, everybody, you're selling a house, not selling a DVD player. When it comes time to sell your most valuable asset, you want somebody who is ingrained in the local real estate community to help you sell that most valuable asset, to make sure, again, that it's easy and you get the most amount of money that you can for the sale of your property. A great realtor is going to introduce you to other realtors they trust in different communities if they cannot appropriately service those communities. As an example, I don't sell homes in Vancouver, and the reason for that is because I don't know Vancouver as well as I know Surrey. But I do know some amazing, incredible people out there who'd be more than happy to help people sell their Vancouver homes to make sure they do it properly. So those are all the things to consider if you're considering working with an out-of-town agent. And to that point, if you are considering selling your home, be sure to check out in the description below where you can get access to our free PDF loaded with incredible tips for home sellers on 4 ways to increase your home's value by up to 5% in only a weekend. We researched this information to the nines to make sure it was incredibly valuable to anybody considering selling their home. And if you're a home buyer out there, we've got you covered as well. 4 secrets to finding off-market properties and avoiding competing against all the other homes on the MLS. Look, everybody, the market's busy out there. You don't have to go into multiple offers every time to find a great home. This guide is packed with strategies on how to do exactly that. Lastly, I'm curious if I missed something in this video to consider, or you have a comment that you'd like us to be aware of. Leave us a comment below, join the conversation, and let us know what you think about selling or buying a home with a realtor or a real estate professional that doesn't work in the community. Again, guys, I'm Darin Germyn from the Germyn Group, where we know you've only got one chance to sell your home, so we're here to help you get it right. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Speaking of selling homes, I got to go show some homes now, so I'll have to talk to you later. Bye! This one's just a couple blocks away, though, not out of town.